Do you like roller coasters and wish you knew more about them? Well, you are in luck. Welcome to Coastin with Quayz' series all about roller coasters, how they work, who makes them, and more. I am Mark, aka Quayz, and I will be your teacher today. This is Coaster Class. On this episode of Coaster Class, I will be answering the question, what are coaster ride forces? One of the amazing things about roller coasters is that even though they share similarities, each coaster or coaster type provides vastly different experiences. Some coasters are more relaxing rides meant for enjoyment. Some are super intense and feature multiple inversions, while some never go upside down, but include many airtime hills. Each coaster is designed with specific experiences in mind, and a major factor that affects the overall experience is ride forces. So, what are ride forces? Well, before we talk specifically about ride forces, I think it's important to simply define a force. Typically, when it comes to motion, a force is any kind of cause for motion. In the case of roller coasters, the cause for motion is a drop, a hill or an inversion, a turn, or any type of coaster element. Different elements allow for different motions and result in different forces. For most roller coasters, we can break down ride forces into three basic categories: positive gravitational forces, negative gravitational forces, and lateral forces. Sometimes we even experience more than one of these factors at once, but more on that later. Let's start with negative gravitational forces, or simply negative forces. Have you ever been on a roller coaster where you fly over a hill and then the next thing you know, you're flying out of your seat? This sensation is commonly known as airtime. Sometimes it feels as if you're floating, and sometimes it feels as if you would be catapulted off the ride if it were not for the restraints. This is due to a difference in negative gravitational forces. We know that gravity is what keeps us planted on Earth. The force of Earth's gravity can be called 1 times gravity. Negative forces occur when the train reaches the top of an airtime hill and begins to aim downward. The transition from upward to downward motion causes the train to pull you down as your body continues moving upward. If the opposing upward and downward motion balance each other out, you reach zero gravity instead of 1 times gravity, causing you to float. This is what is known as floater airtime. If you've ever been on a B&M hypercoaster like Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure or Thunder Striker at Carowinds, then you know this sensation well. This coaster type is designed specifically to highlight floater airtime. This float is created when the train follows a sustained curve that gives the ride time to balance out the forces. But what happens when the hill is more abrupt? The result of this instance is what is known as ejector airtime, or airtime where you feel as if you're being forcefully ejected out of the coaster train. This happens when a coaster train travels at a high rate of speed over quick, small hills. Because the upward and downward motion is happening more quickly or abruptly, the negative gravity does not balance with gravity to form flotation. Instead, the force goes beyond zero gravity, resulting in motion in the opposite direction. Rocky Mountain Construction's coasters are known for featuring insane ejector airtime. Rides like Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion and Lightning Ride at Dollywood are great examples of RMC coasters featuring negative ejector forces. Similarly, coasters like Intamin's El Toro at Great Adventure also feature insane ejector airtime. There are tons of coasters that feature both floater and ejector airtime. Coaster enthusiasts seek out these coasters featuring negative forces as they can be super intense, thrilling, and fun. Opposite to negative forces are positive gravitational forces. We have already established that the Earth's gravity can be represented as 1 times. Well, coasters allow for the force of gravity to be multiple times the normal gravitational pull of the Earth. When we say that a coaster element is pulling 3 Gs, that means that the specific element is creating a feeling of 3 times the Earth's gravity. This feeling results in coaster riders feeling as if they are being smashed into the bottom of their seat on the coaster train, or a strong downward force. When we talk about intense coasters, positive forces are usually the culprit for what makes coasters intense. Coasters achieve positive forces in many ways, but most commonly through trains entering valleys or low points of the ride between hills or coaster elements, traveling through and around fast turns, and with inversions, or moments where the ride goes upside down. Positive forces occur in coaster valleys for similar reasons why negative forces are experienced on airtime hills, and this is because of the opposition of gravitational forces. In a valley, the train dives, gaining speed, reaches the bottom, but then transitions upwards while your body is continuing downwards. Your body pushes downward into the seat as the train moves upward, resulting in strong forces multiple times that of the Earth's gravity. As your body and the train level out, the gravitational force returns to 1 times, but for that short period of time, your body experiences an intense push. The same forces are experienced when a coaster goes through a fast or sustained turn, such as a helix. The centrifugal force of the train traveling in a circle pushes you into your seat, resulting in high positive gravitational forces. You may have noticed on these moments of a roller coaster that your vision starts to blur or gray away due to the high forces. This is a moment known as graying out, and coaster enthusiasts love this. This occurs as a reaction of the body to the positive forces. What is happening is blood is being forced downward in the body, away from the brain, and causing the gray out. As you exit the turn and the forces level out, the blurring or graying returns to normal, but it is a very unique sensation. The human body can only handle so many positive Gs. If the body experiences positive Gs that are too strong, it results in the person fainting or blacking out for a few seconds until the body returns to a normal state. There are some coasters known for insane positive forces. Pantherian at King's Dominion, which used to be known as Intimidator 305, is specifically known for its insanely intense positive forces. It features many high-speed turns and transitions, resulting in positive force heaven for coaster enthusiasts. In fact, the first turn after the first drop of the ride had to be completely re-engineered and reinstalled during the coaster's first season of operation because it was pulling too many positive Gs, resulting in many riders completely blacking out. Even now, with the re-engineered turn, that moment of the ride is still incredibly intense and results in strong grayouts. Inversions can sometimes be extremely intense moments of coasters that also feature positive forces. During these moments, you once again feel forced into the seat of the train. It's important to note that not all inversions are meant to focus on positive Gs. Something like a 0G roll is quite the opposite. Vertical loops, dive loops, and cobra rolls are all great examples of coaster inversions that do result in strong positive forces. Like valleys that are between hills, inversions feature quick movements resulting in positive forces. A vertical loop features its strongest positive forces as you are smushed into the seat due to centrifugal movement. Dive loops tend to feature strong positive forces as they transition downward and into the bottom of the maneuver. Cobra rolls, which start as an Immelman with upward motion and end as a dive loop with downward motion, can feature strong positive forces throughout their transitions. Alpengeist, the B&M invert at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, is a great example of a coaster that features powerful, intense inversions as mentioned. The third basic type of coaster forces are lateral forces, or forces of movement that focus on sideways motion. This is that feeling that you experience where you are slamming sideways into the coaster car, or the person that's sitting next to you in the coaster car. Flat rides at amusement parks are known for lateral forces when the ride features spinning motions. If you're sitting on the outside seat of the car, you are about to get smushed. A great example of lateral forces in roller coasters is your standard Wild Mouse coaster. Each time a Wild Mouse coaster reaches the sharp back and forth turns, riders are thrown sideways. In the case of these coasters, it results in the feeling that the train could fall sideways off the track. Wooden coasters are often also known for featuring lateral forces as the cars enter turnarounds at high speeds. Grizzly at King's Dominion features one such turnaround towards the end of the ride where you get absolutely thrown sideways. Where roller coaster forces get really interesting is when coasters perform maneuvers that provide for multiple forces at the same time or in quick succession of one another. A ride like Fury 325 at Carowinds features a moment like this in its signature treble clef element. As you enter the bottom of the element, you experience positive forces as the train barrels into the element. Once you reach the top, the train rotates outward, producing lateral forces, and then transitions downward, generating negative forces. It is the perfect example of the inclusion of coaster forces to create an extremely interesting and dynamic moment of a ride. Coaster designers and engineers constantly keep ride forces in mind when creating new and unique roller coasters. The depth of coaster forces goes far beyond what has been discussed in this episode of Coaster Class, but hopefully it has provided you with the essentials on ride forces and how roller coasters can provide for many diverse experiences. And just like that, we are at the end of this Coaster Class session. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. If there's some aspect of roller coasters that you would like to know more about, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll talk about that in a future video. With that, class is dismissed, so until next time, keep on coasting.